All right, we're ready to pick up our next politician. This has been going well. We've actually had some fun, some good conversation. Our next contestant. Excuse me as I make a legal turn into this. Well, this is a busy place. We are pulling up to the campaign office of Frank Pullia, who is located here on Memorial Avenue in this really awful parking spot. So let's park in here and see where Frank is. Frank's campaign office starting October 1st. There's the hours. So we will wait patiently for Frank. He's got a lot of signs up. I think he wins the sign war. That's the most amount of signs that he... I think he has the most amount. Hello, sir.
Morning.
How are you? Good
Great.
to see you. Come on in.
Seeing you.
You know what, Frank? You win the sign race. You have more signs up on your building than any other campaign office. You had a lot.
Sounds good.
You did all right.
Thanks.
Buckle up.
Yes.
Let's go for a ride.
All right.
How you been?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I had a rally last night.
Nice. How did it
Yeah.
go?
Well, pretty good. It was a hockey night. I didn't even know.
Oh, well, that yeah.
It was raining and there
Yeah.
were other events, but we had about 50 people come out.
Nice. Listen,
Supporters.
thanks for doing this with us,
Yeah, my
because this is a great way for us to get to know the candidates, share it with our listeners, and at the same time give you a bit of a platform too, because without any debates and anything else that's going on where the public can really get involved, this is a nice way to do it. So I'm glad you had the time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for doing this. It's really an innovative way and approach.
different.
I'm sure our citizens will appreciate it.
See, I lock you in the car because then you can't get out, so you have to answer the questions.
No problem.
That's I have to ask you
Yeah.
the most important question. How many times now is this that you've run for mayor? Fifth time.
Yeah.
Frank.
I don't give up that easily.
No, you apparently not.
I have a passion for Thunder Bay.
You do, but you showed that passion as an at-large councillor.
Mhm.
So you're very successful at large and running at large.
Thank you.
And so why try this again? Why not be comfortable with that same amount of votes as an at-large councillor as you would if you were the mayor?
The solutions many times are outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
It would be comfortable for me to remain at large, but the needs in our city are great. And what I hear more than anything else is in our community, the citizens I talk to on a regular basis, because as you know, I'm out there.
Right, you're out a lot. You are out far more than anybody else.
Representing the interest of our community members, and to do that, you need to be out and about and meet them.
Right.
And we need to be tuned into what's really going on. We cannot be a city hall, it's us and them, that kind of mentality does not work. That gap of information is not one way. Doing a media release about what's happening.
Right.
It's a two-way conversation.
That's true.
And that's why I've been, my slogan for doing the town hall meetings is taking City Hall to the people.
Yeah.
These aura that, come to City Hall, this big bureaucracy. No, it's not like that.
Right.
But the perception is like that.
That's
and
true.
I think what's missing is that approach to say that we work for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to represent you, because otherwise we might as well go home and let administration run the show.
So what's the difference? What's the biggest difference to you? Because you still can represent them at large. You can still get there. So what's the difference?
It's different because people say that technically the mayor has only one vote, and technically they're correct.
Yeah.
But the mayor has a lot of influence.
That's true.
It's in the municipal act that the mayor is supposed to lead.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that's missing more than anything else, and I hear it time and time again, is a clear sense of direction of where Thunder Bay is, where we're going, and how we're going to get there.
Right. And so do you think that we could have done, obviously you think we could have done a better job in the last 4 or 8 or even 12 years in the direction that we're going? Do you think that the council that you sit with now could have done a better job in the last 4 years in communicating with citizens and in how we're spending and all of those pieces? Do you think we could have done a better job?
We can always do a better job. But I think in the last 4 years we have done reasonably well. You know, the sky's not falling,
Right.
and things are not great. You know, we got some strengths, and
Yeah.
some of the strengths that came across recently that reflect the strength of our community is the decision of council decisively to support Grace Place in their Out of the Cold program. Even though it's a provincial responsibility, social issues, mental health and addiction, all the social determinants of health, really it's a healthcare issue.
I'm glad
But
you
we
brought
need to
that
take
up.
a leadership role and act.
And that's what you did.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because one of my themes in all of this, and I spend a lot of time watching council. Not a lot of people watch council, Frank, but I do. Sometimes I get some chips and I just sit there for the whole night. And
Quite a few. You'll be surprised how many people watch
there
council.
are a lot.
I hear it.
They're paying attention.
Yeah, and that's good.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely,
healthy.
absolutely it is. But you know, in watching that and studying that, the Grace Place example is a perfect one. There is absolutely no denying the importance of that organization and the work that they do.
Mm-hmm.
No denying that at all. But there are processes in place to help these organizations. And one of the things that I questioned was, why hasn't Grace Place in the past been in a city budget to support them on an ongoing basis?
They told us when they came to us, they never asked for money from the city. They rely on a tremendous number of volunteers and support from the community that has always responded to their call to help those in need.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first time. There was funding available for the next 3 years. The only reason why they came to us because it was the last minute decision by the new government to review those applications.
Right.
There's
a delay, that's all.
There's a delay. So this is a one-time deal, and it was unusual and exceptional circumstances. And while we realize that there are, it was not our responsibility. We needed to act, and the response from the community has been great, and
Yeah.
really reflects that Thunder Bay still has that giant heart.
Yeah, we care. We absolutely do.
So for all the problems that we have, there's nothing that we can't fix with what's right with Thunder Bay, with all the wrongs, with all the issues, all the fear and
I think we
concerns
do.
we're
I don't think we do a good enough job of talking about the rights.
Exactly.
I don't think we do.
Exactly.
Because
The vision reflects the needs and aspirations of our community.
Mhm.
And it's to help make Thunder Bay the kind of city we can all be proud of calling home.
Right.
My home is Thunder Bay. I want to be proud of that. I want every citizen to feel the same way.
But you see civic pride now, don't you? I see you at all these events.
I see it all the time, but now doesn't permeate across our community. There's still too many areas that we need to bring together in feeling that Thunder Bay is the place where you want to be and be proud of this as a caring community,
Right.
progressive community, a best run city that leaves nobody behind.
And there's no reason why we can't get there.
No
right?
reason at all.
There's none. And that's what sometimes frustrates me as a person who's lived here my whole life. I get frustrated because I sometimes am impatient. What's taking us so long? You know, we have all these plans and all these ideas, but why are we still sitting here waiting for these things to happen? Somebody's got to move this ahead.
That's where leadership comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Not only about the depth of understanding about the issues,
Mm-hmm.
but having the skills to execute the plan.
Right.
Because otherwise it becomes another plan sitting on a shelf. Our strategic plan is a living document.
Mm-hmm.
We need to adapt it to reflect the circumstances of the day,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to articulate that message or what Thunder Bay needs are and how they're evolving.
Right.
Give you an example quickly. It's about changing the structure and the composition of council. We don't need the provincial government to tell us to do that. We should take the lead, and I brought that motion to council
Yes, you did.
in April for our council and our community to look at the composition structure if it's still reflecting the needs of our city. Because when
I
that
don't
was
think
put
it
in
is.
place, we need to have that conversation.
Right. And nobody wanted to have that conversation with
Well,
you.
council said no, but they committed because they didn't even want to bind the hands of the next council. I said, okay, if we're elected, we go back in and now have your commitment. to bring that back and I hope you support it. And they said yes. So
it's a start.
it's a start. And again, that discussion cannot just be had by council, has to go into the community, have proper consultation, and then at the end of the day, we're still elected to make decisions. But those decisions need to be reflect, again, the aspirations and will of our community, needs of our community, and bring that together. Will emerge to bring Thunder Bay forward on a much faster way, because you said, why is it taking so long?
Yeah.
It does not need to.
No.
We can move fast. I think people will be surprised how fast we can move, because we're going to build on a strong foundation. We laid that foundation.
We have that
it's
already.
There.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff that is working. Let's build on that while we work on our challenges. We're really opportunities. There's a great opportunity here.
Do you think that that a new makeup of council would help that?
From what I'm hearing, some of the candidates that I've been encountering, there's a cohesiveness of purpose and focused effort on those social issues, finances, and economic expansion and job creation. So I hear the same things are starting to emerge.
Right.
And so council will be united. I think the new council and whoever may be in there, they will come together, especially if the leadership at the top, if I'm lucky enough to be there, it's clear in my mind what's needed, and the kind of vision I want to present, and the ability to pull a united, inspired council through the leadership of transformational leadership coming from the office of the mayor. We need to transform and renew our city and our society and our community in a way that...
Do you think you'll have trouble convincing them to kind of follow that plan?
I'm confident that
it's a big job.
When even I had a rally last night here, volunteers, and even I extended an invitation to people in the community to come out and hear my Think Thunder Bay First plan. If the focus is on Thunder Bay and not on our individual agendas, I think council will, whoever may be there, will collaborate, will come together, because the purpose and the vision is supported by the community. They will come along.
You know what? You've got a great plan, Frank. You've been a great counselor, and I will say this. I'm not afraid to say this, and I've said this many times before. One of the things that I've always appreciated about you on council is that you sometimes ask tough questions that you're not afraid to ask, and oftentimes you don't get a lot of support for those questions around that table, and so thank you for that.
That's okay.
And thank you for asking the tough questions sometimes.
People need to feel that there's someone there speaking on their behalf.
And you've done that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that's why I, part of me is, I think it's great that you're running for the mayor's chair again. I think that's great. If you're not successful, I'm sad to see you go from council, and I hope that you'll be back.
Well, when people ask me that, I said, just help me get in.
Yeah, then you don't have to worry about it.
If you're really concerned about it, then help me get in.
Yeah.
Vote, support. If you believe in what I bring and what I'm talking about,
your numbers
have
increased every time that you've run.
Yeah.
So there are people understanding it. So
every poll that has been done online, and there's an online voting now, shows me in the lead.
Well, there you go.
So
you feel good.
Feel good.
Yeah.
And even talking to people, I'm engaging. I'm out there on a regular. I talk to hundreds of people per week, thousands on a regular basis. I talk to a lot of people, and even unsolicited, people offer me their feedback, their encouragement, their support. It looks good, but we need to work hard, and that's what I would bring to the table.
Right.
My passion for the city, my skills and my experience that I have gained over many years, and because I love the city and I want to see succeed. Well,
you certainly have shown your passion and your love for the city and your commitment to it, and on behalf of all of us, thank you for that, because it's a noble thing, and God bless you for keep trying. I'm telling you, I don't know how you do it. You've got a lot of heart. That's a lot of heart. Frank, thank you
very much.
Thank you for this. And you know what? A couple more weeks, we're going to be. I'm excited about election night. Are you?
Yeah.
You're going to have a party?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You have the wine out?
We could.
Okay, call me. Let me know.
Okay.
As soon as I'm done on the air, I'll be down there. Leave it behind. Excellent.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Frank.
Yeah,
you take care. Have a great day. See you later.
Everybody.